one of the things that I'd like you to consider is that in business, there is a clear focus on serving customers. And one of the things that you can see is that if we were to use the previous video as a proxy for business, how the customers responded in the second instance was much better than the way they responded in the first instance. One of the things that I thought I would do, though, is to point out to you that there are a whole range of needs that customers have that generally tend to be stable, and you can cluster them, many of them into a number of groups. I mention this to say that if you are unsure, if you're not clear about what it is that you'd like to offer customers, one of the things that I'd suggest is to look at these groupings that you see on screen. And these are the groupings that a guy by the name of Donald Miller suggests. It's a very good book that if you can get your hands on, I would encourage you to look at. But one of the things that I'd like to do is to introduce this idea of story, and to introduce the idea of story as a container that we can use in a novel way in business that sometimes gets overlooked. Allow me to illustrate in the following way. One of the things that takes place is that when we are engaged in a business of some kind, we are tempted to tell people about what we do technically. So one of my best examples from the book is somebody who runs a landscaping business. If somebody ran a landscaping business, many people will be tempted to say things like, well, we have the best lawnmower. We are the straightest hedge trimmers. We will do it fastest. We will do it cheaper, and a whole range of other things. But even though you're in the landscaping business, if you can understand why your customer wants to do something, you can be more effective. So there is an example in the book where it says, we will make your yard look better than your neighbor's. Now, that's such an interesting proposition, such a successful proposition. It's a compelling proposition to customers because those customers know nothing about landscaping. But if you understand that they want to landscape in order to look good amongst their neighborhood, in their community, amongst their neighbors, then you can present even a landscaping business in such a way that people will connect with the why that you're giving them in order to see your service. I hope you can see here that we've not used anything technical in terms of what landscapers do, but we have used an understanding of the why that the customer has in order to appeal to them and for them, and to make a play to get them to choose us. I think one of the things that is important for me to just briefly mention is that it's interesting how it is that we think as people. There are so many things to think about. We do so many things in a day, so many messages confront us, that we're actively trying to navigate a whole range of shortcuts to be able to help us deal with all of this mental strain. And in order to do this, we have a number of shortcuts which are codified in this idea called cognitive biases. As you can see on this screen, there's 188 of them. I don't want us to talk about all of them. Maybe I'll pick out a few examples. Let's see how my time is. But one of the things that I thought I'd mention to you is that there are so many opportunities available in understanding how people are thinking about things so that you can position your business, your service, your product in the best possible way. The logical way that occurs to you out of your studies, out of your textbook, out of your initial interaction with that business is not the only way to look at it. And I'd encourage you to complement it with what it is that your customers are seeing and how it is that works out.